everyone. I'm doing my Jewel on a Friday. Okay, you guys, this has not been a good week. It's been a bad, good, no good, very bad week for so many reasons. And I want to still do this video because, yeah, I made a promise to myself and it's important. So my Jewel for today is that setting healthy boundaries is a leadership skill. And I don't know why I asked that like a question. Setting healthy boundaries is a leadership skill. So what I'm noticing right now is that the world is fucking crazy. There's so much going on. I feel like it's not even a daily barrage of horrors. It's like hour to hour. Appending norms, chaos, just so much change and so much chaos. And from a coaching perspective, I will say that in chaos, in volatility, it's really actually a great opportunity to check in with your foundation, to really make sure your foundation is strong. And one of the pieces of a healthy foundation is setting boundaries, healthy boundaries. So I'll just put this in practical terms. What I've noticed is I have to really be mindful of how much news I'm consuming, because there's a lot and it's hard to digest and most of it's bad. I have to be more I need to be more thoughtful about how I'm using my energy and time, because there's so many things I care about. There's so many things I want to fix and do and change and like I could be an octopus on roller skates, but I don't want to. So it means really tuning into like, what are my values and my commitments? What do I care most about? And how am I going to spend my time and energy on those things, and therefore not do other things that are not aligned with my values? So what this means is saying no to things, being much more focused on how I'm using my energy and time throughout the day. It's not even just like it's like actually a day-to-day decision-making process for me anyway. So that's point one, is that it's taking a lot more from me, and I imagine from all of you, to really be thoughtful about how you're using your time and energy, and like where you're preserving space for yourself. That's the other piece. I've needed a lot more space in this world to like think and breathe and be, and even disconnect. Like I've been doing so much more reading, and that's because I love reading, but it's also because I need that time where I'm not like engaged with the world in the same way. So my boundaries are changing and becoming much more important for me as an act of self-care to really set those boundaries. But the second piece of it is that when you do take more responsibility to set those boundaries, you're probably going to piss some people off. In fact, you will piss people off because you've probably trained people to expect certain things from you. Either you're going to do this thing because you're so good at it, or you're going to take on more, or you're going to show up for this thing. And when you are more of a stand for yourself and taking care of yourself and setting those boundaries, you're going to be saying no to some of those things. And people are not going to be happy with that. So then the second part of the leadership is to remain standing in those boundaries, regardless of the other person's emotional experience. I was talking about this today on a women's leadership course cohort that I met with this morning. We were talking about this very topic because we were talking about leadership and what leadership looks like and what leadership looks like in today's world. And we talked about this notion of boundaries. And someone was telling a story where somebody else said, "Your boundaries are my triggers." I was like, yeah, it's true. Like when you set boundaries, that might be other people's triggers. So the growth is after you set that boundary to remain committed to it, notwithstanding how other people are going to react to it. So say no to the thing that you may have wanted to do in the past, but that is no longer aligned because you are really preserving your peace and energy. Shut down the chatter with your friends about things that are really horrible to talk about, not because you don't care, but because there's a certain point you may reach in that conversation where it's no longer serving you to talk about those things. These are just examples, by the way. And obviously, preserve your energy, do things that bring you joy. And when you think about deciding how to use your energy and time, think about your values and who you really are and what you really care about, and make decisions from there. Sounds easy, right? Stay safe and sane, everybody. Sending lots of love. Have a great weekend.